What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my MMA Corner number 29 video. Going to go over some topics that you guys sent in to me. Just to let you guys know, I will be doing these once a month, and I'll pick out either newer or questions as far as something that's coming up, or newer questions that you guys have sent in to me and go over those. I'll pick those out. I may not always get yours, so if you have one that you want me to cover, send it in. I'll look over it, and then I'll try to put it on the next one. So, I'm going to go over some ones that were sent in. Had some good ones this time. I actually was really impressed with some of the ones that were sent in. The first one was from Liquid Fox 26. By the way, ahead of time, thanks for sending this in. Do you think that Shields will get an immediate title shot if he signs with the UFC? And then he went to go ask about how do I see the fight with GSP going. I won't touch on that topic because that is possibly a prediction for another day. However, I will talk about the Shields possibility of a title shot. I don't think so. And the reason that I say that is you've got the Ultimate Fighter coming up where the winner of Daly and Koscheck will be fighting GSP. That's about a 6 or 7 month layoff where nothing gets done with the title. If Shields does get signed, which should happen here soon in the next few months, he'll get a shot probably at a mid-level guy to kind of allow the UFC to market him if GSP or whoever, in the fight between GSP or the winner of Daly Koscheck, whoever wins that, to market him better in a title fight. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that Shields will get an immediate title shot, only because, like I said, the Ultimate Fighter aspect, which has already been confirmed, and Dana's come out and said that Shields would not be on the Ultimate Fighter, which means he would have to sit by the wayside in order to fight GSP, but more than likely he'll fight somebody, like I said, a mid-level guy. If he wins decisively by submission, it'll allow the UFC to market him, and he'll look better pay-per-view-wise in the marketing scheme for the UFC, so that's how I look at that. So thanks for saying the topic, and I appreciate it. Alright, next question comes in from, give me a moment, 1988 SEM 2007. Theoretical matchup between Nick Diaz and Thiago Alves, who wins? Very, very interesting fight. Both of these guys, Thiago Alves, very, very good kickboxer, likes to use his leg kicks to set up his jab and then his 1-2 that he likes to use. He's good in the clinch. Nick Diaz, very good boxing, unorthodox striker, good jiu-jitsu from the top and the bottom. Alves's jiu-jitsu skills, he's very, very good on the as far as the top game is concerned, but he's more defensive on the bottom. He has defensive jiu-jitsu with his bottom game. To be honest, I think that Diaz presents a lot of problems for Alves. And when I say that, when you look at the fact that Diaz moves forward a lot, he throws a lot of combinations, he's almost, I don't want to say difficult to hurt, but he's very, very hard to hurt. He's been hit with many, many shots throughout his career. Takanori Gomi hit him with probably one of the biggest shots he's thrown in his career back at Pride 33 before Diaz pulled the go-go. And Diaz just got, blasted and still survived that. Diaz is a tough guy to finish. I think that Diaz would present a lot of problems for Alves. That would be a very, very close fight. I'd have to take Diaz by a close decision, though, in that one, just because of the fact that Diaz presents numerous problems as far as the way he throws his combinations, moving forward, which is something that Alves does have some problems with. Alright, Will5538 wanted me to talk about weight cutting. Why do guys cut down to past their natural weight to get into a lower weight class? And does the weight advantage mean so much significantly in a fight that it's was it worth going through all the torture? A lot of these guys that you see cut weight have brought that aspect over from wrestling in high school and college, which is primarily what a lot of the guys in wrestling do. They cut down to a smaller weight class where they're the bigger wrestler to have an advantage over some of the guys. In MMA, it's no different. You've seen guys like Rich Franklin that wanted to cut down to middleweight in the earlier parts of their career to have a strength advantage. Guys like Sean Shirk, We just talked about Thiago Alves. Thiago Alves cuts down to 170 not only to be the bigger guy, but because he has a height disadvantage at middleweight. He's more better suited for welterweight with the way his height is set up. So he decides to move down to that weight for that reason, as well as being one of the bigger guys in the division. I think that's what you have to look at. Number one, I think a lot of it has to do with guys want to have an advantage strength-wise over guys, but a lot of guys are more suited for smaller weight classes. Thiago Alves is a perfect example. Sean Shirk is better suited for lightweight because of his frame, but he's also a bigger fighter at that weight class. So that's usually why you see guys do this. It's because of, one, a strength advantage, or two, a height disadvantage that they do that. And they're able to impose either aspect or either be on a level playing field with that division. So thanks for the question. The Chris Kroll wanted me to talk about Rua Machida, Penn Edgar, and should title rematches happen, and why did it happen with the Penn Edgar fight, and you could understand the Machida Rua fight. Well, two aspects of this. The Machida Rua fight, to most people, was a questionable decision. I'm one of those. I thought that it was at least 3 rounds to 2 for Shogun Rua. The Penn Edgar fight was so close that it was bound to have a rematch. With BJ Penn being the lightweight champion, it's a good pay-per-view sell. They can bring more people in for another pay-per-view to watch that fight again. And again, it was a very, very close fight. Either guy, you could have scored it for either guy. That's how close the fight was. Machida Rua was more of a questionable decision, which is why that rematch happened. So on two aspects there, I think that's why these rematches are happening. Usually when you see a guy win decisively, you normally don't see a rematch right off the bat. This has happened in the past, though. A perfect example would be Andrei Arlovski, Tim Sylvia. After Arlovski got knocked out in the second fight, they had an immediate rematch for the third fight. So sometimes that does happen. I like to see it, mixed up when a guy has won decisively, whether it be the title holder or the challenger. And that's how I look at it. But in these two instances, it's understandable. It was bound to have a rematch for, the Penn Edgar fight. And most people thought that Machida Rua would have a rematch because of the decision. So, thanks for the question. Thanks, everybody, for sending your questions in. If I didn't get to it this time around, I apologize. I'll try to get to it on the next one. Send your questions in. Put them to my private message section. Also, follow me at Twitter, twitter.com/PhantomUFCfan, and I will post updates on there. I normally do. And on that note, you guys, take it easy.